All right, good morning. From that sign, you might be able to tell that we are in the Catskills today. We are going to head up the slide, which is the tallest of the Catskill Mountains, and we're going to make our way over to Cornell and then Wittenberg. I've already gone to Wittenberg, but part of me has always wanted to do like all three in a row. I just think it's kind of cool because it's like, why not? And I have Kurt with me today, and he has done slide before, but he hasn't done the other two. So each of us have taken on one of these summits in the past. So hopefully today we'll get all three done. The Slide Mountain parking area is where we started, and you can see there the trail to Cornell, Slide, Wittenberg is up that way. We're actually going to come back that way on the return trip because this is an out and back for us. We're actually going to follow the yellow to the Curtis Ormsby trail, and we're going to follow that, and that's going to be our route going up. I'll try not to be too shaky with the camera as we navigate through here. Awesome. Rocks like this are rocks and trees that grow like that are very common sights when you hike here. And then we're right back to this, but we will definitely be seeing more of that rock as we go. All right, we made our way to a really good rock scramble. The trail comes from like down over there. We just came up through here. I figured I'd bring you guys along for part of it. Oh, Kurt found a view. So we've definitely come up a good bit. Still got a little bit more to go, but we have come to one of my favorite views while hiking in the Catskills, and that's the 3,500 foot mark. Tree branch. Kurt's really not that far away, but there's a pretty good change in elevation just this little walk.
My size you?
This will be the way we head back. 2.1 miles going that way. We are less than a mile to the summit. And the others really aren't that much further away. Great hike so far. Always love the little rock scrambles on your way up to the summits in this area. And now we just have this really nice smooth track for the moment. I'm not 100%, but I believe we'll be hiking out that way. I'm pretty sure that is Cornell, and right over there is Wittenberg. So we'll find out as we get closer. Well guys, we have reached the summit. This pad is all that you have as your summit indicator. So there we go, folks. The highest peak in the Catskills. One that's been on my list ever since I started hiking up here. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to cross this guy off the list. And we were talking about it earlier, and don't really think about it much, but I do want to bag all of the Catskill peaks at one point. So in time I think I can make that happen. We have a nice view, slightly obstructed, but
Gorgeous day. Loved it so far.
there's one of the reservoirs, one of the many reservoirs that's in the area down there.
Oh, you wait until I turn the camera off to start singing.
So apparently Peter no longer with us. I'm guessing in a hiking accident on Mount Marcy. Mount Marcy isn't any joke either. Panda and I hiked that last year. That is the highest peak in the state of New York. And there's some spots up there that I could definitely see accidents happening fairly easy. So every once in a while you see that. Every once in a while you see a tribute to a fellow hiker that's no longer with us. So coming down off a slide, little break spot we had. Nice little scramble that Kurt's demonstrating for us. Alright, put you guys away and it's my turn. Yeah, looking out across the valley, that is definitely Cornell and Wittenberg. in the foreground, and the rest of the Catskills back there. So yeah, those are the next two targets.
Again, camera is not going to do this justice. And I don't even remember how I attempted to get down this. Instead of going down this side, which makes more sense now, I tried to get down over here.
This is the one that got Kurt last time. We're both going to attempt to make it down with no one having any unfortunate incidents. I am going to attempt this side because it looks like I might be able to like find footholds, like going backwards like a ladder. So I'm gonna try that. But I have a tree which is helping me kind of get positioned here. Again, as Kurt said at least once on this hike, long legs are helpful. So height has its advantage sometimes. Oh, this is gonna be all right. So I made it down. That thing is like, that's like probably almost 10 feet.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad coming down through here, but this was my last toe hold before I got to there. I kind of stepped back and you can see Kurt up there. It's a decent height.
That makes everything. There we go. That's what I tried to do last time. My pack caught and down I went.
Yeah, sometimes it's definitely better to take the pack off. The other side. So down below 35 again. Not exactly sure how low we drop in between the two peaks. A lot of mossy goodness up here. We've got to another little of the scrambling areas. Trail's starting to take us back up again. I've had like a nice ridge walk, and little by little it's been climbing, but not like this. So, last time we checked our distance, we know that we are over halfway to Cornell. We are climbing up to Cornell, and we've hit some small rock scrambles along the way, and it's definitely hitting us with the elevation, which tends to be a Catskill trait, is where you go close to the summit and then it's like you're gonna start climbing. So we came across this little bit of ridiculousness. That's the next part of our journey, and Kurt thinks someone else threw in the towel, quite literally. It's even white. All right, we're not quite there yet, but a really nice view. And again, looking back the way we came. One thing with some of the Catskill Mountains is from the actual summit, you don't get like a huge vista. It's usually grown in, a lot of trees, but we're definitely getting these really nice views as we get closer to it. And when we come back this way, coming out of the trees, we get to get greeted by this. Now as we get closer, I don't know if we have like a marker designating where the summit is. But looking around, doesn't look like we can get much higher than what we currently are. Alright, trail goes that way. I'm gonna come this way, see what we see. Camping site. One of the few ones. Trying to dodge spiders. Oh, sorry, no camping. So that makes more sense. No camping. No fires. I wager to guess this is the summit. Just looking at the terrain around us, and it looks like everything else does drop back down. A nice view, obscured view, but it's a nice little window out into the valley. So definitely a cool little spot. Well, that was our little look at the Cornell summit. Kurt kind of put it into a different perspective, and I don't know, like the bigger hikes like this, I sort of like, I don't know, I kind of like trick myself and make myself think it's not as far or as difficult as it's really going to be. Like, I know we got to go up the descents that we came down, and I can already tell my calves are not going to like that. My body's going to be a little mad at me. But we're doing 3 summits. And Kurt was kind enough to point out that is 5 mountains we are hiking. Because we're only going to Wittenberg and turning around and coming back. So Cornell we got to do again, and Slide we got to do again. So I find it a little amusing to look at it that way, especially since my first attempt to do these 3 peaks together failed, and I only did Wittenberg. And then, like, for wanting to get here and hike Slide, like, I've wanted to hike Slide ever since I first came to the Catskills. I don't know, there's just that whole, why not tackle the highest peak? I mean, we did it with the Adirondacks last year. We just went straight for the highest one.
Yeah. I think this is the dreaded Cornell Crack. You just stepped right over there.
There's no way that's the Cornell Crack.
The map says we're right on it. Unless we're...
Watch it be deceptive.
All right.
But yeah, so considering the first try I didn't get to complete it, it's funny that on the second try I will be hiking it twice. But one of the cool features that Kurt was telling me about, I saw like the start of it when I did Wittenberg, but between Cornell and Wittenberg there is a very tight piece of ridge that goes between the two, and I believe it is called the Bruin Causeway, and it gets that name because it's a popular footpath for bear to get from one mountain to the other, with that, because otherwise they would have to hike. They would have to walk all the way down. No, I think this is the crack.
Okay.
But I think someone might have made a side trail to go around it. So we got a side trail right there. Oh, but anyway, really quick. So the causeway, it's really tight, and it's like roughly like a 10-foot wide ridge, and animals use it. So if we're lucky, we might actually see some wildlife when we get to that area, but I'm not too optimistic because there's a lot of people on the trail today. So This, I believe, is the Cornell Crack. From the things I've heard about it. And this spot, from me down, is probably about 6 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, something like that. And then it drops off probably like another good 4 feet there. But yeah, it does look like there is a workaround path that way. And we might have a little vista over here. Oh, we do have a little vista over here. All right. Wittenberg. It's right over there. And we each did that section a little bit differently. Like, I kind of felt more comfortable like pressing my back up against the side, where Kurt like kind of kept his weight back and centered coming down through that. But we both got down safely, no issues. So
it looks worse. But when you first try to put your foot in there, and you're like, I don't know if that's gonna hold.
Yeah, it does look bad, but if you stand there and look at it for a moment, it's not so intimidating. But I think going up it might be a little rougher. That would be pretty hard for anyone with any kind of like limitation where they really have to use their feet or hands to support their weight. But all right, one more of the notable parts of the trail checked off. We're gonna keep going. I think we are on the causeway now. It's hard to tell, but like right there is the end of the side of the ridge, and like on this side it's like right there is the end. So we are definitely on the very narrow side of the ridge. Actually, right here will give us a little bit better perspective. So there you kind of see where it starts to dive off. And like right here, just on the edge of that moss right there is where it dives off on that side. Well, if you can't tell by the lack of stuff in the background, we made it to the top of Wittenberg. We've actually been here for a little bit, just sitting, ate lunch. I needed to get food, so I sat down and broke my food bag out of the backpack right away. But now we'll show you this awesome view. Kurt was saying earlier that this gets regarded as one of the better views in the Catskills, and it's definitely on the list of my favorites. All right, so now all we have to do is go back that way over the two mountains we crossed to get here, and then a nice long downhill back to the car. And we're about 5 hours into the hike and a little over 5 miles into it. I think it's just under 6 to get from the parking area that we're at to here. Yeah, gonna enjoy this for a little bit longer, and then we're gonna get going. Okay, we're back at it, heading back towards Cornell. And we noticed the closer we got to Wittenberg, we started seeing some of these flowers in bloom, and pretty nice looking. It's really the only flower I've noticed up here. Not sure what they are because that's not one of my specialties. But as we make our way back towards Cornell, thinking about that Cornell Crack, and then just the way some of the rock scrambles are coming down from Cornell. If you're not used to doing that kind of stuff, or if you have like a mobility issue and you want to do this hike, you'd probably be better off doing it in 2 separate hikes and coming up slide like we did and going to Cornell from that direction, and then tackling Wittenberg from the other side. Because I'm not sure how well that's going to show up on camera. Probably not anywhere near the way it is in real life, because that's usually how it works. But But that crack, like the way you have to position your feet and your body to get through it, is definitely going to be a challenge for some people. If I was a little less confident in my ability, I would have probably been more nervous taking care of that feature. We've made it back over to the infamous Cornell Crack. I'm going to try and let my camera run and see if you guys can at least get a sense of what this is like. Whenever you like look at hikes in this area, you hear about this feature, and it's definitely, out of all the things I have hiked in quite some time, this is definitely one to take seriously. Here we go. I'm not sure how I think I stepped down on this when I came down it. There are some things that it seems easier going up it than down it. I'm picking the harder way to come up that first section. The good thing is, I'm taller than the shelf. So, don't know how much of this you guys can see, but oh man, I don't think coming up it's easier. I think it's roughly the same.
Yeah, there's when I was reading Catskill Mountaineer, he did mention that there was like a handhold up there. You went up that side, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going up this side. So, keep in mind, Kurt's only probably 4 feet, maybe 5 feet out from where I'm at. He's down there pretty far. Want to hand up? Maybe. Got it. And where he's at, the feet are the hard part. You just kind of have to jam them right in there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not easy.
How do you swing your foot around?
Oh, I kicked my foot onto that stuck out rock, right where you're.
Oh, right
yeah.
here.
I did that and I pushed up from there and I jammed my other foot in higher up.
I don't know if I can do that. Let me try. Oh yeah, that was easier.
So what do you think, man? Easier either way?
I think it was easier going down.
Yeah, I think down was a little.
It's not.
I mean,
impossible coming up, but jam my camera in as I hit it. But I mean, for you, your legs aren't that much longer, but an extra couple inches actually helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's something to remember. I'm 6'4", and I'm a lot of my height comes from my legs.
Yeah. Now I'm
So-
5'11", and basically 5'10" and a half or whatever. But yeah, I think you're definitely those longer legs help.
Yeah. So hard feature, yes. Not impossible, but definitely something to seriously consider if you're not comfortable doing what we just did. And you filmed me, right?
I filmed you.
All right. So yeah, when you if you go check out Kurt's video, you'll get to see me climb, and we just got to watch him climb. So, but yeah, and that's it. The rest of our features are all easy after that. This sign I always enjoy seeing. Definitely enjoy it now. We don't have too much left of climbing up. Only 500 feet, give or take a little. But yeah, so that part of the hike is nearing its end. Almost back up to the summit slide. And little plaque to the gentleman that inspired a lot of this. Because there's it's the Burroughs Range, and there's a Burroughs Trail. Well, as we make our way down this trail, the first part of it is kind of nice when you're coming down. It's pretty smooth, kind of gravelly, and you can hold a really good pace on it. And then it slowly turns into more of what looks like a water runoff. So you start seeing more rocks. Not too bad, but it's a little slower. All right, we're back. The trailhead. Another hike in the books. So I'm very happy to get this one completed. A lot of climbing, but really enjoyed this one. You have just the right amount of trail where it's smoother, and you can keep a pretty good pace. And between like rock scrambles and things like that, definitely makes you work out a little bit more as you get through. I'm not sure what our total mileage is for the day. I know earlier I was saying like 15 or something along that line, but I realized I was thinking of if you come to slide from the Woodland Valley parking area, which that would take you up to Wittenberg first, and slide would be your last peak. So we're looking at 12.3 miles. Not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Doing slide and Cornell twice. It's kind of fun being able to say that we did that and everything. But I totally enjoyed this, and I definitely recommend it if you're in the Catskills area and are looking to do a good hike with some good views, a little work. Yeah, totally like that. Definitely suggest giving it a shot if you're in this area. But that's gonna be it for this one. Time to go enjoy the nice 2.5 hour ride home and give the feet a break a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed tagging along with us on this one. I'll catch you next time.